Welcome to another episode of the Xploon Podcast. Today we are with Ahmed Seleem to talk about how Dubai market really works and what you need to know before you buy. So let's start with it.
Beautiful morning. People who have questions, people who wonder, where's Dubai going? What's happening to the real estate market? Let me give an example. If you travel a lot, if you are familiar with traveling in the planes and the weather conditions, if you are with the best airlines and you know that you are with the best pilot who takes care of the plane, if you pass through some speed, some air bumps, or just weather conditions, are you going to be so worried that everything is going to go south, or you're comfortable? It happens, but I'm in good hands, and the structure of the plane is pretty steady. So would you be worried, or just, it's just another day?
It's just another day, and I'll be comfortable. I'll go with the flow that I know it's the best airlines. I know it's the best pilot. And
exactly.
Yeah.
So think about it this way. Dubai has the best structure, the best plan, and the best rulers. Why I'm saying this? Look at the history. Look what's happening. Look the way Dubai is developing. Mm-hmm. Not only the real estate sector, in everything, infrastructure, the decision makers, the rulers, the rules, the flexibility, the, let's say, political neutralization.
Right.
So you would not worry about something like this happening. So even, for examples of, there are some rockets anticipation of this. Every day, actually, the proof that we're here, we're out of our bed and we're working and our days goes on, that means we're not worried. People in Dubai are not in fear because they trust the structure. The plane is pretty well. We're very strong in here. Plus the pilot, the rulers, the decision makers, they are pretty smart. So not to worry at all. Everything is fine. Everything is perfect. Dubai is booming. I'll prove it with numbers.
Tell us about your role, the company, and what actually gets you out of bed in the morning. Yeah.
That's it. Nice
Yeah.
question. Okay, so to know what gets me out of bed, let's get to know me. Who am I? I'm an engineer who never worked as an engineer for one day in my life. I graduated from engineering school, ECE, Electronic Communication Engineering. I chose real estate because I love real estate. I do it with passion. It matches my character. Real estate is like something you either have or you don't have in you. So you either have the character of a real estate man or a lady, real estate agent, or you don't have it. A lot of people try this business because it's promising so much. It's the best. I used to tell, now I'm a director, I used to tell my my trainees or my agents, you are in the best business, in the best city. Best thing is sales. And best thing in sales is real estate. And the best city to do that right now is Dubai.
Right.
So you are in the best place and in the best business. What it takes, the key of success is you. So it's all about the person who's doing this business. What gets me out of bed is motivation, is the challenge, that I can do more, that I can prove myself. Because in real estate, there is no limit, no ceiling. I'm not doing a same job every day from 9 to 5, and then I go home, I know the figures that I'm getting at the end of the month. It's not this way with real estate. The real estate is like a challenge. You can be a millionaire in 24 hours. You can sell a bulk deal and make $1 million commission. So real estate is about you, to prove you who are you. And since I was young, I love challenges. So what gets me out of the bed is the challenge of how much you can make today. And real estate feeds that in me.
Everyone remembers their first deal, right? How was the experience with you?
I was actually in college, and my auntie is British. In my country, she had some group of the foreign people, the British, and all the international visitors. She had a Facebook group with them. So, because I came also from Canada and America, so I used to assist them and help them in different things. So she told me, this family needs a house, and some people need renting, some people need buying. So I put myself in this situation. I found myself a student making thousands of pounds, just show them an apartment, or getting them some information, knowing some information and delivering the information. So it's all about actually, if you can process information, if you can deal with people, you can make money. So I loved it. Since I was a student, I started. My first transaction was annual rental, furnished apartments, luxurious apartments for American family in Alexandria, in Egypt. So I made thousands. I made a lot of money for a student doing that. So that was my first deal and was very successful, and I loved it since then.
If someone has the cash today, what do you recommend? Off-plan property or a ready-to-buy property?
That's actually, again, a very tricky question, because I would not recommend something that doesn't match him. You have cash. It depends. There are questions to ask if you have cash. How much and when? So you say today, so he's ready right now and he's got cash. It depends. The volume of the cash, and depends the purpose. What do you want to do with it? You have cash, but you want to come and live with your family in it. So I'll advise you with a ready property to come and live right away. You want something that you want to bring your friends and family to live in there. You want something, or this amount of cash, you will have it and you will not have again. Mm-hmm. You have a flow of cash keeps coming. I keep explaining in a simpler way to my agents, a keeper and a flipper. A keeper, somebody, is an investor also, but he's got flow of cash. He's got a factory. He's got money keeps coming annually or quarterly, keeps coming. Mm-hmm. To sell, they don't want to sell. They hate to sell. They just want to keep. They want to buy. They want to have a big portfolio, and they want to rent it. So they look for something that's almost ready already.
Is it that you get a very good discount if you buy the property in a cash, or?
Look, buying properties have many parameters and aspects. For example, I have the full property amount right now, the full property value. I tell him, what do you need, your purpose? Pure investment? Mm-hmm. Or you want the tangible asset, you want the property, you may want to come and live in it. Pure investment, I'm not going to live in it. Okay, the best way to put this 1 million dirhams, it's not, or dollars, or the amount, whatever, X amount, is not to just put it, don't put your eggs in one basket. Mm-hmm. What I suggest is to choose a reputable developer, off-plan project, and buy multiple units. Check for a developer, reputable developer with escrow account who gives you the best payment plan. The least you can pay first. So when the apartment is ready and it's appreciated, the $1 million have $200. Okay. So put 20% in each. For example, if a developer gives you 20/80 payment plan, you can put 20 and 20/80. So 80 on handover, 20 during construction. He just wants 20. He doesn't want anything from you till handover. Mm-hmm. Imagine if you buy 5 units, you put 20% down each. And at the time of handover, it appreciated on the worst case scenario. 20%, 15%. You know what I mean? 15%, you have just made 75% capital appreciation of your money 5 times. Mm-hmm. You can sell 4 and keep 1 if you want. Why would I tell you to put the $1 million and buy 1 only in the beginning? Do you see what I mean?
Makes sense.
I will tell you that if you want to move in with your family, of course. But if you are a pure investor, I tell you just to buy 5 with a developer that gives you 20/80 payment plan, 30/70 payment. It's all about the figure, how much. So we sit on the table, we do the calculation. It's never one answer. It all depends on the amount of cash and your exit plan and your actual plan, either you move in or pure investor.
How do you compare the risk? Like, is it worth it wait for a building to finish or to buy a ready property?
A lot of people say risk if they don't know Dubai.
Okay.
Thank God to our rulers and our real estate Dubai land department. This entity has put the rules and legislations to ensure that the risk is minimized. There is something called escrow account. The escrow account is opened to make sure, to secure that your money is in your project. Mm-hmm. And only reputable developers can maintain themselves in the market. Why? The story begins, for a developer to be a developer, he must own the land 100%. Mm-hmm. The plot. 100% ownership with a title deed available. Not installments or anything. So he owns the land, he's got the title deed, he opens an escrow account and put 30% of, if it's a new developer, or 20% if it's a reputable developer, and sometimes 40% of the project value in that escrow account is kept for the project name. What do you mean for the project name? Not for the developer, for the project that you're buying in. Money's there already. And who controls that? The developer takes money whenever he wishes? No, the government. Dubai Land Department controls it. So he must get the approval. He must submit the invoices that he's building. He must show actually structure to be able to withdraw money. So escrow account is there. The rules are there so to minimize the risk. So you're asking about the risk of buying off plan. If you go to a developer with a reputable history, big name that has already delivered, and you have seen their history, there would be no risk there because that's happening every day. Every building in Dubai, every villa, every community, every building you see is a success story of a developer who started off plan and who finished actually. Most of the developers, they finish their inventory at the launch. There is something here called pre-launch. People put an EOI, expression of interest, even before the launch. Why? Because they trust the developer. They know it's a success story. They know the best money they can make when they enter earlier. The earlier you enter, the more money that you make.
Right. Yeah. How do you convince someone to spend millions on a home that they can actually see it on screen or a piece of paper?
If it's your first buy, of course you will have a lot of questions, a lot of concerns, and this would be one of them. Simply, I would tell you, as your real estate advisor, I will show you the history that what's happening on paper now, there are similar building or similar community have done with the same developer before. All the community have been on paper, and now it's reality.
Right.
So I'll show the client or the buyer the reality of the similar project that was on paper, and they were sold out during the launch, and now they're full building and people are living, and everything is fantastic there. So the actual history and the reality is number one. Number two, the escrow account, of course.
Okay.
Because, as I told you, for the developer to own, he must have the escrow account, he must have the land, and he must submit all the designs and the drawings and the layouts, everything, to the master developer and to the Dubai and the municipality to be accepted and approved. Once he get acceptance and approval, he can promote it, he can sell it. So for a developer to be able to sit with you and give you the papers that you're talking about, this SPA or the photos or the layout, these are approved by the government. And there is money already kept there in the escrow account. So if you worry about one unit that you will put the money for, the developer has put 20 or 30 or 40% of the project in the escrow account. He's already paid money. So he wants his money back. He wants to develop 100 times more than you or 400 times because you only buy one unit, you worry about your money there.
Right.
He wants the 400 units. He wants the money for the 400 units. So he's not just waiting for your 1 million or your 1 unit's money. He's already put 40% or 30 or even 20% of the project. If it's an old developer who's already showed reputation, they put 20%. For the new developers, they put 30% and sometimes 40% of the project value. So this will assure you as a buyer that you're in safe hands. You can buy off plan in Dubai.
What are the top 3 things a buyer must check before they sign any contract?
The unit, of course. Before you sign any contract, you gotta read it very well. You gotta see what are the penalties if you have late payments. What's gonna happen? And for example, if you wanna sell it, on how much? What's the exit strategy? Will you let me sell it by law on 30%? Or you put a certain condition for you as a developer, you only let me resell it on 40 or 50 or 80. So I'll check that, the exit strategy. The penalties. You also need to look for your layouts are the unit, so there's no mistakes. Is it the same unit that you chose? It's in the SPA because every SPA should have the specs of the unit, the layout of the unit, the payment plan that you agreed on with the agent. There's no room for someone to come and say, "Oh no, you didn't tell me this. I told you that." Everything was in paper. Everything is documented before you sign the SPA. You should see your payment plan, the same one you agreed, the layout, the view, the same unit you agreed on, and to check the exit strategy as we mentioned. So basically, everything that you agreed on the table, you see it written on the paper, then you sign. And once you sign the SPA, as you may not know, the SPA is uploaded to the Dubai Land Department. And to get the Akudi, the registration, like pre-title deed. It's called the initial contract of sale. It is like the title deed for off-plan. To get that, you pay the 4% for Dubai Land Department, and your unit is registered officially with the Dubai Land Department, and your SPA is uploaded. So everything that you do or sign with the developer is monitored and governed by Dubai Land Department.
With so many units being built, is the market going to crash, or is there enough demand to fill them?
For example, Dubai population. There are index. To judge about the future, to see if something is going to happen or not, you look at the pattern and you look at the history. The population of Dubai increases annually. For example, the population now, by figures, is 4 million. It increases annually 6% average.
Okay.
So 6% of 4 million,
Okay.
240,000. If you put the 240,000, that's residents, new residents coming to Dubai each year.
Wow.
If we made a calculation, that these 240,000 are like families of three, a man and a woman and their son or daughter, three average. Because I'm not going to say 240 units they need, 240,000 units they need. I'm going to say divide that by 3 for each 3 to have a unit. That's being very conservative, because actually many are bachelors, you know what I mean?
Right.
However, let's say for the family of 3, we'll have a unit. So how many units do you need? New units each year. How many? 80,000 units.
Oh.
So, as a matter of fact, 2025, we're in deficit of 15,000. We needed 15,000 more units to match the people. If you do the math, you will know that the demand in Dubai always high. And for example, if we look at the transactions in March from 9th to 15, we have about 15.6 billion dirhams of transactions, about 4,321 transactions happening in only this week. So the demand in Dubai is always, there are always people who will work in Dubai, will believe in Dubai, will live in Dubai, will buy real estate, because real estate is one of the assets, a tangible asset that you buy safely. It's not online trading on forex market or anything. It's a tangible asset you buy in a city or a country that have a very good infrastructure and very clear future plan.
Is it true developers can legally delay a handover?
Delay on handover is governed also by law in Dubai Land Department. In the SPA, a developer can delay, allowed to delay 6 months to a year, maximum 1 year. He's got a grace period to delay the project. After that, he will pay penalty to the buyer. And as I told you before, the developer doesn't want delay 100 times more than the buyer, because the developer has 200 or 100 units, while the buyer is waiting for 1 unit or 2 or 3 units. The developer is waiting for all his units to finish to get his money back.
Who is buying more right now? The flippers looking for quick cash, or end users looking for a home?
Who's buying right now directly from a developer? Because there are 2 markets in Dubai, and both markets are booming always. The off-plan market are mostly by the investors, and the secondary market mostly by homeowners. Because if you want to buy a home to live in it, you're not going to wait 2 years for it to be there, unless some people do that also. If they have a long-term plan, they just rent till their units are ready. But mostly those who buy off-plan are investors. Secondary market and off-plan market is totally, they are parallel market going next to each other like that. So there is no, it's apples and bananas. You cannot compare. This market has so much buyers, and this market also has so much buyers. You cannot compare.
What happens when everyone tries to sell their property right at the handover date? Does the price drop or increase?
At the handover date, the demand is increased. Why? Because it's mortgageable now. It's able to be mortgaged. So when you mortgage a unit, a larger segment of buyers will come into the market, will come into the game. So there are sellers, yes, who wants to sell, but there are buyers who want to buy, because the unit is at the entry level, the first level of a ready unit. If you wait more, it increases more. So the cheapest ready unit is when it's ready right away.
Okay.
So that's the minimal price of a ready unit to buy it at the time of handover. So the sellers have their motivation to sell, and the buyers have their motivation to buy. So as much as there are sellers, as much as there are buyers. Why they are sellers? To maximize their capital appreciation when there is handover payments. So instead of paying it, they flip it. That's number one. Number two, because they have this exit strategy. They just want to pay the 30%, that's what they have, and they want to resell it. So that's what I'm saying. This is the reason for the sellers to sell. But the reasons for the buyers to buy, many reasons for buyers to buy. As I said, they move into a new apartment. They can mortgage the apartment. It's the minimal price. It's a new community. And the expected increase is there because it's a new building.
Which is best, apartment, villas, townhouse, or commercial? Like, where is the best ROI right now?
As I said, also, it's apple and banana. It's always the best ROI. It's about the best location and the best community.
Okay.
So there is no one answer for this also. For example, if you buy a building alone in a street, in an area, or you buy a building in a community, what's better?
Community?
Of course, community.
Yeah.
Because the community increases the price of the building, even if it's an apartment, but it's a
Correct.
community.
Yeah.
Because the mall, the shopping center,
Centers,
the pools,
the nearest
the gym,
station, and yeah.
Absolutely.
There are more amenities and...
Absolutely. So I cannot tell you a building and there is a villa alone on the street, a villa or a building. Same thing. A villa in a villa community, or a building in a community as well. But if we compare ROI and capital appreciation, villas intend to deliver more capital appreciation, the more difference in price. An apartment tends to deliver more in rental yields. If I'm a keeper, I'll buy an apartment because I'll keep it and rent it. So if I'm a flipper, I'll buy villas because it tends to give more capital appreciation.
Is a branded apartment actually a better investment, or we just paying for a fancy name?
You can actually measure that in your daily life. If you buy a branded watch or a piece of jewelry or a clothing or a bag, would it better for you to resell it, or would it keep the value? Or if you just buy any bag, buy it cheap, sell it cheap. What would you rather do from investor point of view?
Over the time, out of my experience, yes, branded.
You get what you pay for.
Yeah.
You always get what you pay for. Because brand, you don't need to sell it. You don't need to say much. It sells itself.
Yes.
So real estate is the same. If you're going to pay much for the branded apartments or material or villas or community, if it's a brand, the brand sells itself.
Mr. Ahmed, thanks for joining us on the Xploon Podcast.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here and talking about the real estate and hoping that I'll be beneficial for somebody.
Thanks for watching the Xploon Podcast. We hope you learned something today, and we'll see you next time.